So I'm Ken LeVan again. I also want to speak on inclusivity, but the art of mentorship within our community that seems to be lacking or forgotten a little bit. I heard this at Austin Kink Weekend at this panel of it doesn't take a sash to do the work. It does not take a title to do the work. That might be the catalyst for someone, that might be the momentum for others to get involved. But a lot of people have asked me in this last year, like, what's leather like in Louisiana? And my joking response every time is like, you're either wearing a harness or a jock strap because it's too hot to wear both. It's one or the other. But ultimately, the real answer is, leather in Louisiana is really fun, but it is hard because it is so diverse. We don't have an eagle to go to. We don't have a bar to say, this is where the gear section is. If you're not wearing gear, you don't walk in. Where there is the pup night where all of the pups come together in the community for one night, or that they're seen and brought together. That a lot of our leather family here in New Orleans, Phoenix is the home base. And that is completely fine. But why are we stuck in just one place? Why aren't we going out and supporting other members of the community around the city? Like when John Bro moved over to Crossing, that was kind of like a great opportunity of Crescent City Leatherman doing the crawfish boil over there. Like there's ways to get around the city to show leather is here, the Kingsters are here, the fetish is here, and we support each other. And it's great to have the home base. It's great to have that. But when someone doesn't know, should I walk in? Do I feel comfortable? But then because everyone is so unified and clicked together at the Phoenix because they're comfortable, where is that welcome, come and join us? Not just let me pull you into the dark room, but come and join us. Come and see what the rest of this is about. Let me come and see you. Let me find out what excites you and who you are in the community and what do you need from me. And that doesn't have to come from having a title or a place of authority. It takes all of us to do it. And I feel that there is some fatigue from people. There is some burnout, whether it's the older generation, younger generation, there is burnout. And it takes all of us to do it. And I feel that some things in our community have been allowed to continue on as it has been for too long without anyone saying, why are we doing that? Like, there's the pup, I'm going to use the pup community as an example. There is a divide going on there. I've had a lot of conversations. I've tried to bring other people in. There's momentum with going on with, how do we get it where we can just have all the pups together that want to just walk down the street together in one of the parades? That want to all be together and be like, in puppyhood, let's go. Belly scratches for everybody. But one of the things is, the pups that are not at the Phoenix aren't seeing the other side of the leather family supporting them. They're not seeing that they have mentorship and support in a greater part of the community. It is just their pup night as it stands by itself. And there is nothing wrong with having that individual night, but if you feel that you're not really a part of or enveloped in the rest of the community, why would you come to the other bar? Why would you come to the other events that anyone else in the community is putting together? It's wonderful to see everyone come together in so many facets for Decadence with all of these different things because everyone feels included. But I don't see it just within our community, like this little family that we have here. And it's not disheartening. It just takes a lot of energy and strength. And I feel that some people are waiting to see other people pour more into it before they pour some of their own self into it. And it's just simple conversations that can be happening. Like within our leather community, where is the shared events between Lords of Leather and Crescent City Leatherman? To the two clubs that they are, and they're both independent and wonderful. But where are the times where we bring all of leather together under the leather flag as opposed to under our club or under our crew? And I feel that there can be more of that for better understanding for the community as a whole, so that more people, no matter what space you happen to walk into, there is that, hey, your first time here, come here. And I don't see as much of that. I see so many people gravitating to who they already know instead of being the one to be like, what brought you here? What's gonna bring you back? seeing all of these new faces joining Crescent City Leathermen and Lords of Leather, it's been very great for me to reach out. Like, I love hearing what has brought them here. But if we're not doing anything that has brought them here, then they're going to leave the crew. They're going to leave the club. It's less old guard, new guard in that aspect. It is more of, for the sake of the livelihood of these crews continuing.
The longevity of it.
The longevity of it. And so I feel that we're at a turning point with all the things that are going on in the world, with all the need that everyone has for that extra support, that extra love, that extra hug from somebody, that there's more we can be doing. And that's the part of the inclusivity that I'm really trying to look to engage with more in the community, is that mentoring. Where can more people provide mentorship for anyone that is looking to join a crew or a club for the first time, or walk into that space for the first time and feel welcome, and to feel welcome enough to come back and maybe bring someone else with them. And that's where I think there isn't even enough of that going on with the Uptown Games, with those, that what's gonna bring you? They might not wanna come to every single thing, but where is that?
Right.
And those are the answers that I am striving to find, that I want to help provide.
I piggyback off of that to say that was some of the conversations that I was engaging in, as far as the old guard mentality. Well, this is how we've always done it. And my response is, but that's not how you progress.
Ain't working.
That's not how you make the future come to fruition, if you continually say, this is how we always do it. And that's what makes so many individuals not wanting to participate in these environments, because of that old mentality of, this is our crew, this is our clique, this is our, you know what I'm saying? So, like you say, when they go into these spaces, they're standing off in a corner trying to be included, or trying to see, where can I get in? But everybody's like this. You understand? So I get what you're saying, and that's another reason why evolution won't evolve in our community, because we are so in our, this is how we always do it.
We just did Who's Your Daddy on Father's Day weekend, and it's not a real serious title. It's not like the full sash of things, but you do get a sash afterwards.
Right.
Who's Your Daddy 2026. But something that was done differently this time, when it was put out there, when it was publicized, when we talked about it, it is, Daddy is a state of mind.
Yeah.
All are welcome to come and compete to be Daddy.
Right.
And there are some people that really did not understand. It was Auntie Christ was our 7th contestant, who got up there and did a great thing and had a wonderful time doing it. And there were so many people that did not understand why they were allowed to participate, or why they even wanted to. And that's the part where it's like, come and talk to me about it. I will talk to you about it. And that's where, like, asking about the history, how do you, like, no one is saying forget where we've come from or what we've done.
Exactly.
But there needs to be mentorship. There needs to be educating, like, even from the younger to the older generation, as to, yes, that's important, but here's why this next step is even more important.
Yeah.
I think it's really, one of the cool things about our community here in New Orleans is that we have so many groups. You know, we have the Lords of Leather, which is not a leather club, it's a Mardi Gras crew. We have the Crescent City Leathermen, which is a leather club. We have Onyx, which is doing amazing work. We have NOLA Pups and Handlers. We have Noble. We have the Renegade Bears of Louisiana. We have the Big Easy Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and they're all use the Phoenix as home base. We also have an influx of folks that are tired of having gatherings in bars.
Yeah.
And so opening up our horizons for that is really important. You know, there are folks that will join one club over the other thinking they're joining a leather club, and they realize it's just sex parties and a random barbecue. And there's actually no one wearing leather. You know, it's weird. There's a space for everyone, and supporting each of the different crews is not without landmines. There are legacies of hurt feelings, and this is not a New Orleans specific thing, this is everywhere. But finding ways to bring these different crews together, you know. Crescent City Leathermen, we do community organizing, and every dollar we raise at the end of the year goes back to charity. Every penny. Other crews, every dollar they raise goes to put on a big party during Mardi Gras. And that's not to say it's any less valuable, but transparency about where this money is going, why we're raising it, how it's being used, is playing a part for a lot of folks when they're choosing where they're participating, where they're engaging, and how they're giving back. And I think you're right, like, diversifying outside of the Phoenix doesn't just mean going to the crossing or going to the quarter. It's about doing events in spaces where young folks can participate in a safe and supported manner where it's not going to be predatory. But doing events where you don't have to be in the bar.
Yeah.
We have a lot of community members that are struggling with drinking and addiction. How do we create spaces where they can go? Because even a sex party is not always free from those substances either. And I love that we are so dedicated to being sex positive, body positive as much as we can. I shout out from the rooftops for everyone else except for myself. Creating these spaces where it is too hot to wear leather. We really should move pride and decadence to the winter. Too damn sweaty. Too damn carcass that does not breathe. But yeah, I think I agree with everything that you were saying, Ken. I think it's creating more spaces, more opportunities to mentor, to talk about why we are the way we are, how these groups overlap and intersect, and how they support each other, and doing better. I think, I remember when you were in a leadership position, you were doing a lot of recruiting, and I was impressed. I'm like, oh my God, there's all of these new faces joining your crew. Where do they go?
Right, and that's what I touch bases on, not just the crew that I was with, but just in general. I mean, collectively speaking, New Orleans is a crew city. With Mardi Gras crews that are gay-based, and then the organizations that are gay-based. But then you join these organizations with the mindset that I want to be a part of something that is giving back, something that is going to give impact, not just for myself, but those who look at me and see themselves in me. But then you are challenged with an old guard mentality of leaderships in those organizations that draw you away from them. Because collectively, we want to grow as a community. And if we continue with the mindset that this is how we always do it, this is how it'll always be done, or blatantly ignore advancements that are going to benefit not just the organization, but the community in general, then what are we doing? What are we actually doing? And that's where the conflict of interest lies with those who join these organizations and Mardi Gras crews. They say, no, I can be at home. I can save my annual fees and use that for something else, opposed to giving it to an organization that is not actually giving back, not actually mentoring, not actually inclusive, not actually trying to advance themselves within the community. So I totally understand where you're coming from when you say, when you go into these spaces as a new individual and feel alienated, in a space that's supposed to be welcoming, in a space that's supposed to be encouraging and motivating and inspirational, but you don't feel that. So we definitely have to do a better overall haul on how we move in these spaces now, collectively.
And I feel I was very lucky and fortunate that when I joined Lords, when I joined Crescent City Leatherman, I had the two of you as mentors. I had Brock as a mentor, I had Daddy Mark as a mentor, and Daryl Classy, all like very, very much a part of me learning. And I feel that I haven't fully given that back to others, but I also haven't seen so much of that just happening. And that's where it's like, that is a great thing that we should be doing more of, or more of us should be doing.
Well, that's what's in they just changed the CCL, bylaws or something, where like now there will be a mentor for this next rush class. We'll have mentors and mentees, which was exciting for me to hear because I was like, oh, this will be way easier to get my peers to join this club if this is actually going to come into fruition. But it's a little difficult to believe in because I haven't actually seen it fully. I felt really supported, and I feel like my demeanor is why I'm able to be so feeling so welcomed in. And I have some friends who have a less of a happy-go-lucky demeanor that I have, and may respond to things in a different way that I would respond to things. And so it's having these mentors is a great achievement, like a great like improvement for CCL, but it's also like the mentors needing to know that like you might not be met with just like complete reverence and
Right.
immediate like respect because you're older, just because you've done this before, because there is a lot to learn both ways, you know. And I do like try to encourage my friends to also be a little understanding on that end too. But yeah, it's like we're gonna do this, but I'm very curious how it's gonna play out because where has it been?
Right.
I'm really glad that you brought up the mentorship part for the
Yeah.
club. Is that another thing that we have been talking about for Crescent City Leatherman is we are going to build a leather closet for folks that are just coming into leather and kink. It's expensive.
Yes.
It's not cheap, and with the humidity and the sweating, it won't get fucked up.
Right.
Yeah.
So like we've been talking about it since our IML year is gathering up these pieces of clothing that we have all outgrown, either literally or figuratively, and just building this closet so when folks come in and they're interested in learning more about who we are here, you know, you've shown up to all these events, let's get you a vest, let's show you how to take care of it, mentoring, because when it comes to leather maintenance, I am terrible. You have somebody that does yours,
Yes.
right? At IML, the judgment that I got for my boots was
They were not happy to see those boots returned, by the way.
Ken borrowed my boots for IML. Like, warning, Team Shine made fun of me because there was glitter inside of the boots.
And there still is, and they saw it again.
It will always be there. Jake Leslie and Boyd W. were thrilled. But no, it's gathering up this stuff and like making sure it finds a new home with appreciation, with the knowledge, with those resources, and with a friend attached. I think that is the big part. This is a city of everybody. Like we are such a diverse community here. It is a tourist destination. Every 20 minutes, a plane of bottoms lands, and we don't need any more. You shut up, Jim. But like, there's always an excuse to celebrate. There's always something going on, and finding your footing and finding a community that feels right isn't easy. So whether it's mentorship or spreading our gear around and just showing up for each other, like there's so much more to do. So.
Thank you, Sam.